So I'm trying to get an average game completion of 100% on my Steam profile. I currently have a little over 200 games owned on my account and only at a 54%. And this isn't including the games that I haven't even touched yet. So you could say I've got a little bit of a grind ahead of me. Welcome to 100%ing my Steam library, episode 2. Inside is a 2.5D puzzle platformer with an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam. This game came out in July of 2016 and developed by Playdead, the same people who made Limbo. It's projected to take me around 4.5 hours to perfect this game, so let's jump into it. The game just starts with no introduction and has you playing as a kid running from armed guards in the middle of the forest. I'm not too sure why they're chasing him, but it's probably because he lost that chess game to Dr. Disrespect.
What?
I tripped on a twig, got shot, and then chased off a cliff by a pack of dogs. I swam to the other side of the lake and ended up in the next section of the game. The farm area has a really dark atmosphere, gray skies, rain, a pile of dead pigs, you know, stuff like that. As I walked to the barn, I met some chicks.
Yep, sometimes I gotta beat the ladies off with a stick.
And then immediately turn them into a 10-piece chicken McNugget meal. Just kidding, PETA, they're fine, somehow. I'm not sure how, because that machine looks like it would turn them into a fine red mist, but whatever. I then climbed onto the roof and jumped into a cart of pigs to enter the next farm building. In this building, you're introduced to the main puzzle mechanic of the game, other than platforming, but first, I have to 1v1 a pig. I lost. Twice. The pig actually has a parasitic worm in its ass, and after taking it out, you can move him around so you can reach the lamp-looking thing hanging from the ceiling. These allow you to control the mindless humans to solve puzzles. Here they help me make a ramp to progress to the third section. The third chapter is called City, and you start in a construction zone solving a few puzzles. There's this part with a safe ominously sitting at the edge of a board like a Wile E. Coyote trap conveniently over top a wooden floor, so I naturally went to push it off in order to progress through the game. Oh, the safe's on top of me. That's probably not good. Instead of continuing right, I went left through a vent to find a secret area. It was here that I got the first achievement, and realized that all of the achievements in the game are from collectibles. Am I supposed to find those throughout the game? Oh, I've probably missed like 2 or 3. I did miss quite a few, but we'll get those later. I completed another mind control puzzle and found another hidden disco ball for my second achievement. You continue to run along rooftops and through buildings until you fall through the floor and end up in a line of people being controlled. A camera follows you closely, and if you don't fall in line with the other puppets, you'll be tased and taken to the back rooms. If you make it past the first couple of checkpoints, a dog will sniff you out, so you'll have to book it to the 4th section.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Part 4 is called Underground, and it introduces swimming and water-based puzzles. They're cool, but nothing too special. A little further into this section, you have to deal with multiple dog puzzles, and they're so fucking annoying. This one puzzle, if you want to call it that, has you play Ring Around the Rosie with a pack of dogs as you try to take boards off a doorway. You have to climb the fence, pull a board off, climb back over, wait for the dogs, and then repeat until the doorway is clear. Sounds simple enough, but if you get off the fence in the wrong way, you enter a stumbling animation and you won't have enough time to take a board off the door. So you have to jump back over the fence and try again. This happened to me for like 20 plus minutes, and it was by far the most annoying section of the game. But once you make it through the door, you steal a submarine, and you're on your way to the 5th section. The next chapter is called Underwater. I wonder why, but it has you explore a sunken laboratory and solve puzzles with your submarine. I really like this section a lot because of how atmospheric it is, but if you have submechanophobia, this might not be for you. At this checkpoint, you can go down and follow a path that leads to a secret area with a puzzle and another collectible. After solving the puzzle, I was able to reach the disco ball and get this achievement. In the next room, you'll run into the underwater version of Samara from The Ring. She'll chase after you, but she's afraid of light, just like me, so you can just pass by her. Instead of going right to head over to the next section, you can go left and collect another achievement. The 6th chapter is actually just one big puzzle, which I found to be really enjoyable. This number indicates the amount of people you need to stand on this scale so you can open the exit door. So all you need to do is just go around collecting a bunch of people that are hidden on 3 different floors. There are 20 of these guys, so I'll just speed through where they are. The first few are located at the bottom floor where you pick up your stylish new hat. If you travel left, you can solve a small puzzle. So I'm editing this right now, and I'm realizing how unbelievably boring this is. So I'm sure that none of you care about where any of these people can be found, so I'm just going to cut to where I found the collectible in this section of the game, and then move on to the next one. Then using your friends, you can pull off these boards to open a secret passageway leading to a collectible and another achievement. In order to get this one, you have to use a torch to fend off a pack of wolves, trying not to end up like Grisha's sister. Speaking of Attack on Titan, the 7th section of the game is called Shockwaves. Why is this one called Shockwaves, you ask? This is why. Damn! For this whole section, you have to keep moving forward and find cover to avoid the periodic bursts of wind. The puzzles are pretty simple, but I struggled with one in particular for about 20 minutes. The worst part was, if I just stopped and thought about it, I would have cut the time in half, but instead, I threw myself at it over and over again. The rest of the section went by pretty quickly, with some occasional deaths. Before continuing the game, I decided to go back and get the 3 collectibles that I had missed in the beginning. The first one can be found in a secret cave at the bottom of the pond in the forest section. All you have to do is solve a small little puzzle, and you get it. The second is in a secret bunker found in the cornfield. If you go to the left, it's just sitting there on the ground. And for the last one, you have to move that cart of pigs in the farm to the left instead of the right and pull off a board to enter a secret area. Now I'm all caught up, so let's get back to the game. Section 8 is very similar to the underground chapter, but with more water, so I won't spend too much time on it. There are 2 collectibles on this level. The first one is located in this vent to the left, and the second can be found below this opening in the underwater section. Chapter 9 starts off with another collectible. If you spin this wheel so the platform goes as high as it can, the water level in this room rises, so you're able to grab the collectible. The next room is honestly the coolest one in the game. The way the water is inverted on the ceiling and holds up the bodies is so eerie, and I've never seen anything like this before. Wait a minute, maybe I have.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
You can also find another collectible on the far right of this room using the spring box. After a couple of inverse water puzzles, I drain the water in the Logan Paul room, allowing all the bodies to fall. Even though you don't have a mind control hat, they start to follow you around. Using them in an elevator, I can have them throw down a rope that I can climb to get the second to last achievement. And after that, we enter the last section of the game called Observatory. Everyone is focused on something behind a wall of glass. The game won't let you see what it is now, but we'll find out soon. As you sneak further into the lab, you have an opportunity to go up and down a ladder. If you go up, it'll lead to the final collectible, but this time it's huge and looks like some sort of spaceship. Then if you go down the ladder, you'll access the bottom of the observatory. If you turn on the fan and open the door, you'll be sucked into a new area. For some reason I lost all my clothes, but never mind that. Look, it's all the people gathered outside the window. I wonder what they're looking at. Oh. This creature reminds me of some of the ones in the game The Forest, especially with the shared setting of a lab testing on mutated humans. After taking 3 of the restraints off, the monster absorbs your body and you can now control the human meatball.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
The rest of the game has you trying to escape the compound while wreaking havoc. I even killed this guy who seemed pretty important based on the size of his office. When you get closer to escaping, the people actually start to help you. They open doors, break walls, and even help solve puzzles for you, which is kinda cool. I like how they're starting to warm up and have a change of heart. Never mind, I guess. But we break out of the trap easily, and Kool-Aid Man through a wall.
Oh yeah!
Finally escaping, and that's the end of the game. There's actually an alternate ending you can get, so I'll run through that really quick before moving on to the review. In the city chapter at this collectible location, there's a tape recorder thing repeating certain tones. Using that, I went back to the secret bunker under the cornfield and deciphered the code using the lever like the super genius I am. I used a guide. The door opens and leads to a control room of sorts, and on the far right side you can lift up a vent cover and pull the plug. That's it, it fades to black and the game restarts. Not sure what just happened, but that's another perfect ribbon. The overall difficulty of the game is about a 3.5 out of 10. You can get stumped on some of the puzzles for a couple of minutes, but they're really not that hard. Once you know what you're looking for or what the end goal is, you can fly through them. The game's achievements were also not difficult. All you had to do was find the collectibles. If you follow a guide like I did, it's really no problem. I give it a 2 out of 10 for their difficulty. If I had to pick the hardest achievement in the game, I would pick the achievement The Last One. This is only because it required you to find the other 13 collectibles before collecting this one. This is a short game and only took me 4 hours to 100%. 100%, which is half an hour less than the expected time. You can even do it a lot faster if you don't get hung up on some of these sections like I did. My overall rating the game is a 7 out of 10. I had a great time playing it, but I kind of wish there was more to it story-wise. I get that the whole thing was ambiguous on purpose and you're supposed to interpret it how you want. I like that, I really do, but I wish it was guided in a certain direction. All the collectibles, cornfield bunker, and parasitic worms in the farm chapter made it feel like everything was happening because of an extraterrestrial event, but as the story progressed, it focused more on an evil corporation testing on humans. This game is very similar to Little Nightmares, not just in gameplay and aesthetics, but in storytelling as well. There are no words spoken or moments with any exposition, but Little Nightmares does a better job by sticking to its own narrative and slowly expanding on itself chapter after chapter. Other than that, I have no issues with the game. The atmosphere of all the sections were really cool, and the use of music sprinkled in made it feel more cinematic at times. I would recommend you check out this game for yourself if you haven't already. Well, I've got nothing more to yap about. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.